Warning, no script was used for this video, and these are just my raw opinions. It's just raw emotion about everything that has happened, and you've been warned. There may be fruity language. Let's get into the video. What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? So, apparently these past few weeks have been a sad time for what is the active portion of the Blizzard game, World of Warcraft, its community, the active portion of its community, or rather, the not active portion of its community, the portion of the community that is very active in loving the game, but not the state the game is in right now, which is Warlords of Draenor. A lot of people do not like Warlords of Draenor. So, what I'm trying to get at is there was a private server called Nostalrius. I think is how you said it. I think it's kind of a play on nostalgia or something. Whatever. It was a vanilla private server, which is the original way Warcraft was made. Before Burning Crusade, before any of that, it was a server based around vanilla WoW. And people played on it. Almost 1 million accounts were subscribed to this private server, and over 100,000 played on it actively, and that is amazing, with WoW's numbers being around 4 million right now, or speculated to be at 4 million right now. Having 100,000 people playing on a private server is just ridiculous. That is a very large number of people that could have been playing on live. And not we, because I never played on it, but they enjoyed the server for over a year. This server's community grew and grew, and they played on it, and they loved it, and they raided on there, and they were planning to make a BC server and a PvE server, and they were going to get big. And a lot of YouTubers were following it, and a lot of YouTubers were playing on it, but what happened is not very unexpected. It finally got shut down by Blizzard, and it was taken in a quick grasp and said, we are going to sue you if you don't shut down. Now, personally, I completely and wholly agree with Blizzard on this. Blizzard had every right to shut down this private server that was stealing copyrighted content from them and letting other people use it for free. A game that you have to pay for, they were giving away for free. This is called pirating, and it is very illegal. Now, I'm not saying that it was morally correct for them to take down this vanilla server, but I'm saying they had every right to do it. There's no argument there. It is illegal for what they were doing, and they had every right to take it down. Now, past the morality of the situation and the legality of the situation is the bad news and the good news. The bad news is this vanilla server is no longer a thing. It was shut down. Today is April 11th. It was shut down yesterday. It was the final days of the server. I think it was a week ago they were told to shut it down, and the 10th is when they finally shut it down. That's the bad news. It's no longer here. The good news is Blizzard understands, hopefully, this is the good news that we can hope. Blizzard understands that there is a community that wants legacy servers, which legacy servers is an idea that has been thrown around for a very long time, and it's the idea that we can have servers for Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, as well as the live server, where we can have a Warlords of Draenor server, and then another server for Wrath and vanilla and all that stuff. Now Blizzard should understand that there is a community for this. There are people out there willing to pay good money to run. And I know Nostalrius was not taking money from people to let them play on it, and I said they were giving it away for free, which is called pirating. They were taking donations, and while those donations were not asked for, they had just a little button apparently that wasn't advertised. It is still illegal, and that is the thing that we should understand, is that Blizzard had every right to take them down. Now, with legacy servers, I hope Blizzard now understands that there is a community for them, and maybe we will finally get them. If we have to pay a separate subscription, I mean, that would be better than not having them at all. You know, like, we could have our subscription for the live server and then our subscription for the vanilla server. They're two separate things, and you can pick which one to pay for. And I know a lot of people would just pay for vanilla, and I know a lot of people who would just pay for live, because if you're like me, you like to play the newest content. You don't like to go back and play the same thing over and over, because it would happen to what is happening right now in Warlords of Draenor, where people are getting bored of the same content. You know, people are sitting there and they're like, we have been raiding Hellfire for the past over 6 months, I think it's been, maybe a year, and we're just getting bored and we don't want to do it anymore. We're done. So that's what would happen to the vanilla. You would run Onyxia so much. I think it's Onyxia, Blackwing Lair or something, right? That one in Molten Core, you'd run them so much that they would become that Warlords of Draenor content. They would become that content that you don't want to play anymore. They would become boring over and over and over. And I think, personally, I see it as better to leave that content as something that was in the past. Leave that content that was something that we remember fondly. Leave that content as something we enjoyed. And not turn it into something that is repetitive and boring. Because even though it would be fun, what would we do when we were done with it? What do we do when we get that content on farm? Do we just keep going? Like in Warlords, like the way that we are running it now, do we keep going until we ruin vanilla for ourselves? Do we keep going until we ruin the Burning Crusade, until Illidan is now no longer a symbolic form of what we wish the game was, but now is a symbolic form of what we think is boring, now is a symbolic form of something that is we don't want to look at anymore. We don't look back fondly at Illidan. We look at Illidan and be like, we can play this now, we have that on farm, we want something new. That is why I disagree with private servers, is because we will ruin the content for ourselves. Just like with Warlords, and I keep going back to that, I know it sounds like a broken record, but just like with Warlords, we're playing the content over and over and getting bored. That is what will happen, because there will be no way to go forward. That server would have been made for vanilla, and there is no way to go forward from there other than going to Burning Crusade, and then to Wrath, and then to and then to Cataclysm, and then to Mist of Pandaria, and then to Warlords, and Legion beyond that, and then it would just go in the cycle again of us just playing the same stuff. It would become the same game that we now despise because of the boringness of it. It would be, my dog is getting up to move if you hear that. It would just be it would become monotonous, the same way that Warlords of Draenor has become monotonous. And I don't want the game to become that. I want to look back at my time during BC and remember it fondly. Remember the friends I made there. Remember the guild I was in. Remember raiding Black Temple and beating it for the first time and taking down Illidan in my raid group and just hearing the nerd screams and vent and having this feeling of joy that we finally defeated Illidan. And I don't want to do that every week. I don't want to defeat Illidan again every week. When we did that, we had Illidan on farm for the last 2 months of Burning Crusade. I don't want to go have Illidan on farm for 3 years. I don't want to play the Burning Crusade for years and just... Illidan would no longer be this amazing boss that took us weeks to clear. It would be this amazing boss that I can hop on a Burning Crusade Legacy server and kill. Just like I can in Warlords of Draenor. I can go solo that raid, but it would be soloing that raid with 25 people just because we would have the best gear. We would not... I hope I'm making myself clear here. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, guys. I'm not going to keep rambling. I'm just repeating myself. I hope you understand what is my idea of the state of the game right now. That is the reason we do not need legacy servers. Or we do. It would be fun. It would be fun. It would bring people back to the game, but it would get boring. It would. And you know it would. I know it would. Everyone knows it would. The only way to make WoW better is to look forward. The only way that we can make WoW better is to keep giving Blizzard feedback and hope that they listen. We can't do this alone. We can't make private servers alone, and Blizzard cannot do it without us. It is... Oh my god, my phone. That scared the shit out of me. We need to go to Blizzard and talk to them on the forums and give them feedback, what we like and what we dislike about the game. The only way that we can make this game better is not to look to the past for legacy servers, it's to look forward and help them build Legion. The only way that we can make Warcraft better is to look towards the future. Warcraft is never going to be vanilla again. It's just not. We shouldn't want it to be. Vanilla was a thing when it was a thing. It's no longer that. Warcraft is no longer vanilla. Warcraft is now Warlords going into Legion. We should look towards Legion and just hope that we can make it what we want it to be. Which is a game that's entertaining again. We don't want Warlords. We want fun. Thank you guys for listening. Remember to like, favorite, subscribe. If you want more videos like this, tell me in the comments. And I will see you in the next one.